Hey YouTube, Venom Samurai back again. We're going to do something a little bit different this time. I actually got to go see a movie before it's been released in theaters. Uh, it's a little different, but it was a special event that AMC was having, and I went to the theater to see what they call Scream Unseen. It was something, it was total mystery movie. I had no idea what the movie was that I was going to see. I had there were no clues about it. All I know is that it was rated R and that it was a horror movie. That's it. That's all I knew about it. So, that it had not been released yet. So, bearing that in mind, I won't release this till after it's been released in theaters, which should be here in a few days. So I'm not going to release this particular review until about till the day it's released. But I got to see the movie Companion. So Companion is not your typical horror movie. I venture to even call it a horror movie. I would actually call it I know this is going to sound weird when I say it. I'm going to say this is a horror rom com. Okay, a horror romance comedy because there are some light elements of horror in it. There are kills, definitely. Uh, for those of you who have not seen the trailer for it, I highly recommend checking out the trailer for it. There are kills in it. There is blood. There is gore. There's a lot of foul language. But it really sticks more to. It's more like a romance comedy than it is anything. So basically, the story is that we have this guy, Josh, and his girlfriend, Iris. So Josh and Iris go to a friend's house for the weekend. And there they meet up with Josh's other friends. Uh, one of one of them is one of his friends' boyfriend who actually owns the lake house. He's kind of a Russian dick. He's just a generic Russian bad guy, quote unquote bad guy. Uh, so, he's out there, he's rich, he's got all this money and everything. Well, uh, Iris, one morning while they're there, goes down to basically enjoy the view with Josh. And Josh decides, no, you go ahead and go down. I'll be down in a minute. I'm dealing with I'm dealing with a hangover from last night. So she goes down there, but Sergey joins her, the Russian bad guy. And while they're down there, he tries to make a pass at her, uh, tries to SA her. I won't say the actual words because I don't want YouTube to come and take my video down. But but he tries that, and she ends up killing him. Uh, you know. But here's the thing. After she kills him, she comes back in. She's covered in blood. From head to toe, covered in blood. And her boyfriend, Josh, shuts her down. That's right. Our character, Iris, is a robot. Now, if you pay attention early on in the movie, you can tell that she's a robot. But the actress, I believe her name is Sophia Thatcher, she does a good job of not going too robotic with her character. For example, until they do the shutdowns in the movie, you would never tell that any of the robotic characters were robots for the most part, with the exception of male robot, but we'll get to him in just a second. um, but pretty much we find out that this was all a plot by Josh. He jailbroke, as they put it in there, like he's jailbreaking a phone. He jailbroke his girlfriend and made her capable of killing a human being, and making it seem like self-defense, because what they thought was going to happen was is that, oh, she malfunctioned and killed this guy. We'll just reset her settings. We'll wipe all that memory out, and you get her back good as new, and you get to live off with all your money that you're stealing from this guy. Well, it doesn't go that way. He doesn't realize that by jailbreaking it, she also gained a survival instinct. So, as he and his friends are sitting there arguing about what to do with her, she actually escapes, and now they have to hunt her down to, number one, erase evidence of the crime that they're now implicated in, and number two, to basically make sure that their alibi holds true, because these are not smart criminals, okay? These are basically people who they had one plan, that plan almost worked to fruition, and then the whole plan goes to shit, so now they're just doing everything off the cuff. But she finds out that from his phone, he can control the tone of her voice, how intelligent she is, her strength, all this stuff. And that comes into play in the movie. I love that they actually show us that, and it comes into play in the movie. For example, there's a great scene. It's a very tensiony scene, actually. So this would be where I would say this is a horror element of the movie. Where she's in a smart car, and it's one of those driverless cars that all she has to say is her destination and it'll take her there. Well, we've heard of those. They're starting to get around. Well, the thing is that it's keyed to her boyfriend's voice, and her boyfriend is trying to break into the car to get at her to shut her down so that he can get her out of the way. And the whole time she's sitting there, she's fiddling with her voice modulation till she can sound like him, and then she gets the car to listen to her because she changed her voice pattern to his. And I mean, that's just one of the elements that I love. There's another great scene where there's a cop coming up to her, and she one of the things they tell you about the robots is that they can't lie. So in order for her to get past this cop when he's asking her all these questions, she changes her language settings to German, and she just starts spouting off in German everything that's happened up to this point, but the cop doesn't speak German, so he has no idea what's going on. And it's a great little movie. I won't call it a horror movie per se. If I had to put it anywhere in the horror genre, I would put it next to the classic Vincent Price movie, A Comedy of Terrors. There's a lot more comedy in this. There's a lot more funny stuff in this than there is horror. There's not really scares per se in the movie. There are tension elements, but not like scares per se. I mean, still don't bring your kids to see it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that, because there's language and stuff in there I wouldn't let a little kid see if it was the only thing I had on the shelf. But the whole idea of what makes somebody a human and what makes somebody a robot, what is love in comparison to what isn't love, that kind of a thing. Like I said, it's a horror rom-com. Now, in terms of kills, I'm going to steal this a little bit from Dead Meat James. I do apologize ahead of time, but I'm going to give a best kill and a worst kill. And I don't mind ruining these kills for you because they're not. None of the kills are particularly crazy. The best kill in the movie is Officer Hendrick. I won't ruin it by saying how he dies, but I will say that he's probably the best on screen kill in the movie. The worst on screen kill goes to one of the friends, Eli. And because it's over with so quickly. And it's literally just it's one of those, I can't believe that this caused his death that quick. How was that shot that lucky, But in terms of whether I'd see this movie again, maybe I would dare say this is a good date movie. Definitely bring your significant other to see it. In terms of horror movies, if you're looking for horror, I wouldn't go to it. It is a New Line movie, but the thing is that it just doesn't have all the elements of horror. It's more or less closer, like I said, to a rom-com. So I would say this would be a good date movie. Definitely you could bring your significant other to it and enjoy a funny little quote-unquote murder plot. But my biggest complaint with the movie is our villain, Josh. Josh is our villain. And the thing is he goes evil. It's kind of like Hans in Frozen. Like, this guy goes evil out of no fucking where. Okay? And his thing throughout the whole movie is, I'm not a bad guy. Like, yeah, you kind of are. You're a bad guy. So, in terms of rewatchability, I will give this my final score of a 3 out of 5. Okay, 3 out of 5. Not a bad score, but not a good score either. It isn't high enough for me to say, okay, maybe see it twice in the movie theater. I would definitely say, if you go to see it in the movie theater, go as a couple, because it's very much a couple's movie. But if you go to see it, if you have to watch it, you have to see it, I would just recommend waiting for it to stream. It's more of a stream movie, I'll be honest. But it's not a horrible movie, but it's not a great movie either. So with that in mind, it gets a 3 out of 5. I gotta try this again. A Scream Unseen. It's actually a cool little program that AMC does. I think they do it once a month. And as an AMC Stubs member, hey, AMC gave you a plug. I'm an AMC A-List Stubs member, and that means I get to see 3 free movies a week. And, hey, for $20 a month, I'm not going to argue for that. But definitely, it was worth it to go see. Few more great movies coming out this year. I'll have to decide which one I'm going to see next. But till then, I will let you guys know. In the meantime, this is Venom Samurai signing off.